Mercury is found in relay switch and printed circuit boards. It may harm central and peripheral nervous systems if inhaled. It may also damage the immune system. Calcium is found in chip resistors and semiconductors. It has toxic, irreversible effects on human health. If you're thinking that you don't see any of these electronic parts, it is because they are mostly found on the interior of the devices to store information or conduct electricity for proper functioning. Some companies may have changed the chemicals they use, but this is essentially the problem because those old equipment no longer in use are the ones ending in landfills instead of the proper disposals. Also, if you're thinking that you're smart enough not to eat or inhale this product, you will in an indirect manner. As I said before, if the chemical is diluted into the soil and onto a nearby stream, it will eventually be used for animals or crops intended for human consumption. Also, humans do consume calcium and other elements, but not in such high concentrations as they are found in this equipment. Example of negative outcome. I have mentioned some outcomes from the previous slides like water and soil pollution. Also, we need to consider harming underdeveloped countries as the waste is taken there to illegally burn it or just pile it in landfills, contaminating their environment. On this image, we can observe a harmed cow eating whatever it can find in an e-waste landfill in India. The injury to this cow has what it seems to be some sort of burn from a chemical exposure. I can assure it was not done by humans, since in India, cows are a sacred animal. What can we do? Finally, the solution to the problem I have been explaining throughout this presentation. Proper disposal. Instead of just disposing it in the trash, find a recollection center for electronic waste. Collection centers are designated stations either in electronic stores or community-designated areas designed to collect specific electronics. This is an image of a pamphlet the government of Puerto Rico has listed as collection centers with their respective information. Recycling. After disposing them in the proper disposal, the companies have a duty to recycle them. Reuse. After recycling, some parts are still usable, and thus, by combining functional parts, a whole may be constructed. Repairing. If it breaks, but still works, take it to a repair shop instead of leaving it laying around or throwing it away. Give away. If you no longer need the electronic and it is still functioning, you may choose to give it to a friend or a family member. Here, the image from the previous slide. As you can see, it mentions 11 places where people can take the e-waste to properly dispose of them. It is informative but not user-friendly since it is not attractive or easy to read. That is why I created this map to better illustrate the locations of the recollection centers so that people can identify easier where their nearest one is. Of course, this image will have to be accompanied by the information in the previous slide for the specific address. Most of them are located in the northeast region, which is an alarming concern because if the center is too far or difficult to reach for the person, then it will be easier for them to just throw it in the trash. Later on, I will give some ideas to enhance the program in the island. Here is an actual image of a recollection center in an electronics store. This one is specifically in a Best Buy store. Best Buy in particular uses the functional parts of all electronics to fix or put together new equipment. Hand out pamphlets in communities. Handing out informative pamphlets in communities with resume information educates people of this emerging problem. Increased collection centers. As illustrated in the map, recollection centers are limited to certain areas. I suggest that more shopping centers place recollection centers for an easy access to the public. Municipalities should have designated vehicles to recollect electronic waste, or at least designated areas for their community to dispose safely of their old electronics. Some public institutions, like the University of Puerto Rico at Mayagüez, have collection centers, but not everyone knows about them. We should promote more public collection centers. Offer more electronic fixing classes in the public system to motivate students or interest them in emerging STEM areas. And at the same time, they will be helping their communities by reducing e-waste. In Puerto Rico, Law Number 18 from January 17, 2012 states that from July 16, 2013, nobody can throw a landfill any electronic items that contain cathode rays. This must only be disposed in designated collection centers. Companies should require their clients to bring their old phones when they upgrade to new ones. Also, they could give their clients a small discount for bringing the previous device. Some stores offer discounts if you refill your old ink cartridge instead of buying a new one. Also, if you buy a new car battery and don't bring the old one, they will charge you a fee because the law requires the store to dispose one battery for every one they sell. I think this should apply too for cell phones. In conclusion, there is a program, but it is not being implemented throughout the whole island. We do need more collection centers in the south and west area, like the ones at the University of Puerto Rico, Mayagüez. If we do not take action, then we will end up contaminating our water resources and crops faster than we think. Thank you.